Annunciation Radio presents Faith Alive, highlighting the many ways Catholic Charities here in the Diocese of Toledo provides love and support for those in need. And now, your host for Faith Alive, Executive Director of Catholic Charities in Toledo, Rodney Schuster.
Hello and welcome to Faith Alive, the program that shares how the love of Jesus Christ is provided through the ministries of Catholic Charities throughout the Diocese of Toledo. I'm your host, Rodney Schuster, Executive Director for Catholic Charities, and we are broadcasting this live from Annunciation Radio Studios in Holland, Ohio, and we haven't done that for a long time, so we're blessed to be live. And today, it's a special show to be live, because we are going to be reflecting on the March for Life, which happened last week. We're going to talk about the upcoming 40 Days for Life, and what a better way to do it than to do it live and to have two really special guests on today. First, we're going to have Kerstin Pakka, who's the Project Rachel Coordinator, and Schumacher, who's the Sidewalk Advocate Coordinator, who both were on the March for Life with all of the pilgrims from the Diocese of Toledo, and they're going to share the experiences, the blessings, the witness, the joy, and all that. So, Kerstin and Ella, welcome back to Faith Alive.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Great to have you. Great to have you, Ella. So, Ella, let's start with you. So, you've gone now, this is your fourth March for Life. What was this pilgrimage like for you? How was it different than ones past? What really inspired you, motivated you as you were, embarking, enjoying, and being part of a really special event?
Yes, so my first time I went, I was actually a high school student. I was a junior in high school, and this year I'm a sophomore in college. And for me, it's just really beautiful going each year, especially in college now, watching the younger students that go and are on fire for life still. It I feel like is really encouraging to see even more generations coming after you that are ready to stand up for life and their conviction, and especially during Mass, how many students came and sang with us. It was just so beautiful.
And Kerstin, how about you? I know it's been a couple years since you've been there, but what moved you so much more maybe this year than in years past?
Right. So the last year I went, my first year going, I brought my kids with me. And so it was a very different feel this year going by myself, and getting to see all the families and really getting a chance to sit down with some students and talk with them. I shared my witness on the way to DC. And so being able to speak from a personal perspective, from someone who's had an abortion and also who grew up in a pro-choice household, thinking abortion was okay, being able to have those conversations when you're on a bus for 8 hours, you don't really have anywhere to go. So it was really good to be able to sit down and have those deep conversations and talk to people. And then to see them, of course, just take it all in was just incredible.
And how beautiful, just first of all, for your courage to witness like that and to, be open about it and to have those conversations. Because I think so many times we don't have those conversations. We want to ignore them. We don't want to open that can of worms, if you will. So I'm sure it was beautiful for everybody who you spoke with while you were, there and on the bus. So that's awesome. So give a little bit. We'll start with you, Ella. Kind of what was the agenda? And the reason I'm asking that is because, there might be people listening that say, gosh, I've always heard about going, but I've never gone. I wonder what it's like. So kind of give, the overall agenda, like, when you leave and, the Mass schedules and the march and everything like that.
Yeah, so we left early Thursday morning. We left really early in the morning, around 6 a.m., so we could make it to Mass, the Vigil Mass before the March for Life. And we were able to make it. Last year, we cut it really close, and a lot of us had to sit in the basement. But this year, we arrived with plenty of time for people to find seats upstairs in the Basilica. And then Friday was the March for Life Day, and we started that with Mass in the Crypt with the bishop from the Diocese of Columbus, and his homily was so powerful, and it was so good to be surrounded with not only pilgrims from the Diocese of Toledo, but also from the Diocese of Columbus as well. And then after Mass in the Crypt, we marched for life, and you could just tell that energy was there. All of the students were on fire. They were so excited. We did some chants, and it was really beautiful to see students wanting to lead in this really hard movement, as like sometimes it can be challenging. And that night we had some free time, and it was really exciting just to like hang out with some of the students and get to know them and really hear their stories.
Mm.
And then come Saturday, we attended the National Pro-Life Summit, which if you have ever heard of Seek, it's kind of like that, but pro-life and also squished into one day. But it had so many amazing speakers, and it was so powerful. And it's really good to process those after. So that's what we did on our ride back after the summit. We just processed what we heard and just talked all together and shared glory stories and all of the good stuff. And then if you're really cool at the end, even through a snowstorm, you'll go to Waffle House when you get back from.
All right. Oh, that's beautiful. And Kirsten, as a mom, what's it mean to you as a mother seeing young, middle-aged, older people on this march? People from everywhere in the country and all that from different demographics. What's it mean to you as a mother and just as somebody who upholds the dignity of life?
I think so often we think of the marches just for young people or young adults and students, and there is a certain amount of that. There are a ton of students and a ton of young adults, and it's beautiful to see. But there are also so many young families with little kids. We saw so many little kids walking around, and people pushing strollers, and then all the way up to the elderly walking and marching for life. And it's just, you see someone and you think, I wonder what their story is. I wonder what brings them here. And it's just, it adds to the energy of it to see that not only is this continuing and it's being integrated into someone's family life. This is normal for them. This is what we do in January. We bring the kids and we go on the march. And I think that really encourages so many people. Going through the march and hearing the things that we're hearing sometimes can be really hard. There are people who are protesting us. There are people within our own movement who are maybe doing things that are hard to see or hear. But when you look down and you see a sister of life helping a mom push a stroller with her toddler and her other baby, it's incredible. And it shows you the beauty of our faith and the beauty of what it is to be pro-life. And I'm grateful I was there for it.
You're listening to Faith Alive, and our guest are Kerstin Pakka, who's our Project Rachel coordinator for Catholic Charities, and Ella Schumacher, who's the Sidewalk Advocate coordinator. They're sharing their experiences from the March for Life that was last week in Washington, D.C. Kerstin, too, I think of, and I've seen pictures of seminarians, priests, religious sisters. What's it like to see so many of them at the march?
It's so much fun. It's so much fun to see them with each other. It's just an environment that you aren't usually in. And so to be able to look around and see so many different people from so many different orders. We were all trying to guess who was who and where they were from. And it was really fun. But then also to be able to take a moment and talk to people, really ask them what their life is like. What is it like back where you live? What do you do? What's your vocation like? We never get that opportunity. And so to be able to walk up to a priest in a habit you don't recognize and ask him what his life is like is just incredible.
Did you have a game, like as you were marching, guess that order as you saw a religious sister walk by?
I started, but I realized it would be very short. I don't know many of them, unfortunately. So maybe next year.
Oh, goodness. And Ella, how about you? I mean, I just reflect back the first time you went when you saw so many priests, seminarians, and religious sisters. What was that like? What impact did that make on you?
Yeah, so when I first went and saw that many, I was like, wait, there's more like than one. Like I was in so much awe and just like seeing how they are actually like a brotherhood, like you'll see them joking and see them, but then also see them in a prayerful presence. It's just so beautiful because it really is a amazing vocation if it's your calling.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, what I remember too is just, you mentioned about the Basilica and I actually, one of the years I went to the mass that was at the, like the indoor stadium. And it's just amazing to me the fidelity and the love of faith that the people on the march have. And it's evident. I mean, it's they're not there just because everybody else is going. I mean, I hate to generalize, but when you do see so many people that just are there who are serious and who are giving this up to God and seeking God in prayer, for that day, for that weekend, for themselves, for their families, and for the protection of life. What a great witness! What a great example! And I just thought, how can you not be inspired? And that's, Kirsten, I'll ask you. I mean, how inspired were you by the time it was, done? I mean, you're probably exhausted because you probably like, oh, I'm going to get some sleep because, the kids are home, but you probably didn't get sleep. So, but how did you feel like when it was done? Were you just, I mean, what was going through your mind?
Oh, there was no sleep, but it was pure adrenaline by the end. Adrenaline and hotel coffee. That was what was pushing me. But no, to see that huge group of people and younger people who you expect to be, I don't know, sometimes a little goofy maybe, or sometimes maybe not as focused or whatever. I can say that now that I'm old. But as soon as the rosary started, everyone was in it.
Mm.
And as soon as the chanting started, as soon as the singing started, the just praising God for life, there was this feeling of we are all doing this together.
Mm.
And I was seeing groups, not just from our diocese, but from dioceses across the country, joining together to pray the rosary. Ones who maybe once were praying rosaries at different times were coming together and doing it together. And it was beautiful to see, and it something that I will definitely look back on when I feel like maybe we're alone. It's so easy to feel like we're by ourselves in this. But just those memories and that feeling of knowing that God is with us, on the bus, during the march, obviously at Mass, that will be something that I can look back on and will carry me.
That's beautiful. And Ella, what's the one thing that you keep reflecting back on? Is there one thing, or is there two or three things that you keep reflecting back on from this year's march?
Yeah, from this year's march, I would definitely again say the people, just the people that go are so like um faith-filled, and you really get to form that community, and kind of like Kirsten said, you feel like you're not alone. Like it shows you're not alone because we all unite during this amazing experience to just praise the Lord and fight for the babies.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. Well, we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to head to break here. And then after break as well, we're going to talk about the upcoming 40 Days for Life campaign and get into that a little bit, because I'm sure some of you who are listening have probably heard of 40 Days for Life. Maybe some of you are active prayer warriors there, but we want to let you know when it starts. We want to let you know how you can get involved and volunteer and be a part of it and pray. Once again, for all those who are involved, the moms, the dads, those who are working at the abortion center, and those who are praying. So we're going to head to break. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
The Adoration Sodality of the Poor Clares of Perpetual Adoration at the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament in Hanceville, Alabama, is a prayer group for laity, priests, and religious brothers and sisters to spiritually join in the nuns' mission of adoring our Lord Jesus Christ in the Holy Eucharist. Members commit themselves to an hour of Eucharistic adoration on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis at a monstrance or tabernacle at the parish of their choice. Learn more about becoming a member at iadorethee.com.
Now, back to Faith Alive with Rodney Schuster, Executive Director of Catholic Charities here in the Diocese of Toledo.
Welcome back to Faith Alive. I'm your host, Rodney Schuster, Executive Director for Catholic Charities in the Diocese of Toledo, and we are live from Annunciation Radio Studios here in Holland, Ohio. We got two very special guests on, Kerstin Pakka, who's the heads up the Project Rachel Ministry of Catholic Charities, and Ella Schumacher, who's our Sidewalk Advocate Coordinator for not only 40 Days for Life, but year-round to pray for all those who are considering, affected by, or impacted by abortion. So let's talk a little bit about the upcoming 40 Days for Life campaign. Ella, I know you've got something special coming up, a symposium, 40 Days for Life 365 Symposium. Tell us about what that is and what you hope to take away from that and bring back here to us in Ohio.
Yeah, so from my understanding, it's a conference that's put on by 40 Days for Life, and it's centered around the 365 campaign, which is basically, it means your like campaign area is a 365. So it doesn't mean since Toledo is only open like a few days a week, that is like 365 because the hours are filled that when we are there, when it's open.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the conference is going to be a great way to connect with other people who are doing the same thing as I am right now, and also just learning stuff that 40 Days for Life has as well, because I haven't gotten to go to anything like this. So it's going to be a great way to just learn and make those connections.
Ella, I have to ask you, you went to the Seek conference after the first of the year, the March for Life. Then you said you had like almost mini Seek experience for the March for Life on Saturday, and now you're going to the symposium. You must be unbelievably smart and getting smarter by the minute going to all these conferences.
Yes, I am.
And you must be on fire too, since you're taking time to do all these things.
Yeah, it does make you on fire because I feel like you just hear from speakers that are on fire themselves that make that like I feel like transmits the fire to you. And then it's really cool because if you bring back the fire like I did from Seek, you can um really work to keep it with you, which I feel like it's been with me since Seek. And once you bring it with you, you can then transmit your fire to other people and it can spread. So it's really a beautiful thing.
We'll keep that fire and that flame burning and keep it burning in our hearts and minds too. Kerstin, with the 40 Days for Life campaign, I know you've been involved. How important is it for people to come out and to pray? Because we know pray is the weapon against evil. But what's it like for you, and how important is it for you that people come out and pray, not only for the 40 Days for Life, but 365?
Oh, it's incredibly important. I think that, the idea of going out to a place like an abortion facility that's not a pleasant place to be. If any of you have seen the one in Toledo, it really is not a pleasant place to be. It shows the desperation that's needed on behalf of the person to go there when that is the place that is better than your other options. And so to have the ability to go there and to peacefully pray, really shows that it means something to you, what's happening in that building. And from a personal standpoint, but as well as from the women I speak with frequently, we would all tell you that if we saw someone standing in front of an abortion facility peacefully praying, not even saying anything to anyone, but just showing that what happens in that building means something to them, it would definitely plant a seed in our minds. It may not immediately change our minds, but it would have, for me specifically, it would have given me something to think about. So to be able to be there and to show that we care about the women who enter, the people who work there, and those babies who are there as well, it means so much.
Yeah, and I just think that witness, and the other thing, I think because what we often see misportrayed of what we do, and whether it be 40 Days for Life or anytime we're praying in front of the abortion centers, we are peaceful and we are praying, and we're trying to be the face of Christ for all those who come in a way that we're not condemning, we're not chastising, we're not screaming at, we're not yelling at. And we're hoping that witness to them, because they know when we're there praying, we're praying because we're praying for them. We're praying for their unborn child. We're praying for the father. We're praying for the abortion workers. That we're doing it in a way that's respectful, and it's a way that Christ would do it. And I think, that's the hope, right? Kirsten, you just mentioned, for those who are walking in there, they're like, wow, they're not yelling at me. They're not being mean to me. Maybe I should really think twice about this, or maybe I should talk to them. And that's so important, because that's what we're called to do, for this. And Ella, what's it been like for you? Because I know you've been out there now for over a year, right? Or maybe even more than that. But what's it been like for you, being, that you've brought some younger folks to help pray too from school. But for you, the first time you went out there to now, what's it like for you every time you go out and pray there?
Yeah, so the first time I went out there, I felt like I was praying, but I was like, I don't know if I'm actually praying. Like, I'm saying prayers, but like, I was like, I don't know if anything is actually working. And I feel like the beautiful thing is once you do it for a while, you see some of the fruits. And then when I went to seek, there was a talk, and it was like, God doesn't always show you the fruits. He just wants you to serve him. And I've realized just by praying, simply praying out there, I'm serving him in a Christ-like way. Just praying for the women that go in, praying for the workers, praying for the escorts. It's truly just shown me that, yes, I am actually praying, and God is actually there and being present through the prayers.
You listen to Faith Alive, and we are live at the Annunciation Radio Studios here in Holland, Ohio. We're talking to Kerstin Pakka, the Project Racial Coordinator, and Ella Schumacher, who's our Sidewalk Advocate Coordinator. We're talking about the upcoming 40 Days for Life. Ella, can you kind of run down like when the campaign starts, midpoint rally, end, and then if people want to get pray or want to sign up, what they can do to learn more?
Yes, so 40 Days for Life it starts with the kickoff rally, the opening rally on Tuesday, February 17th at 6 p.m. And it's at Bethel Assembly of God Church in Perrysburg. And it'll be a good time for fellowship, and there's an amazing speaker. I'm not going to share. You will have to come and find out who the speaker is. And then there will be a midpoint rally as well, Monday, March 9th at 6 p.m. And this will be at the Toledo Abortion Center on Savannah Avenue in Toledo. And it will be cold, but don't worry, we will have chili. So we can all eat chili and just have fellowship together. And then the closing rally will be Saturday, March 28th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that will be at St. Catherine of Siena in Toledo. And that will also be a great time for fellowship and just reflecting on the past campaign. And if you would like to sign up, which I definitely recommend, you can sign up at 40daysforlife.com/Toledo. And if you're interested in getting more information or interested in a sidewalk training from myself, you can go to ToledoRespectLife.com and then go to the Sidewalk Advocates and Prayer Partners group and then fill out the form that is there. And I would love to connect with anyone who is interested. It's really beautiful being out there, and you really get to meet so many amazing people as well.
And if they have questions, Ella, one more, where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me at eschumacher@toledodiocese.org.
Beautiful. And then you can go to respectlife.com. Is that right, respectlife.com, or am I missing a Toledo in there?
Yes, respectlife.com.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Kirsten.
ToledoRespectLife.com.
Toledo Respect Life. I thought there was a Toledo. ToledoRespectLife.com to find out more, not only about 40 Days for Life, but everything that's happening in the Office for Life and Justice here in the Diocese of Toledo. I also want to share, Kerstin, kudos to you, because there will be, and this is not open to the public, but I think it's worth sharing that on March 17th, there's really kind of a cool event coming up as well that you're leading. So maybe share that.
Sure. So March 17th, we're going to be having a priest training for our priests in the diocese. This is something that's been a long time coming, and I'm quite excited about it. So as we all know, priests have such a huge role in healing and in a multitude of things, but in the Project Rachel ministry and the Joseph ministries as well. Without them, there's not much we could be doing. So I'm grateful to have quite a few signed up already, and it'll be a great day.
Yeah, and I just ask that all of you pray for the 40 Days for Life campaign and Ella, and that we have many volunteers that want to come out and pray and learn and participate. And pray on March 17th for all the priests and all those who are going, including Kerstin, who are going to be helping share with the priests, Project Rachel and the beautiful healing ministry that it is. We're going to have Kathy Didion there, who kind of heads up our Catholic Counseling Network in our Diocese of Toledo. So it's just going to be a beautiful day of reflection, of helping people give, whether it be a priest or people who are out to pray. We always want people to feel like they're equipped. And we don't have all the answers, but we have a tool kit that we can help share to whether it be priests or deacons. It can be those who are out coming to pray, so they feel like, okay, I feel like I need enough, and I'm good enough to go. I don't have to have all the answers. So yeah, that's awesome. Ella, we got a couple minutes left. I just maybe share with the 40 Days for Life, what can somebody expect if they sign up and want to come out there? What would be the experience be like for them?
Yeah, I feel like if you sign up and come out, the first time you come out, there will be someone there. Whenever they're open, we really try to have at least someone experienced out there, so then you won't be alone and we can walk you through everything. But I feel like your first time out there, it's really good just to offer it up to the Lord and pray about it. Pray for the woman going in, pray for the escorts, pray for the abortionist, pray that they have a change of heart. And another thing to remember is that you are doing God's work out there, and that He has a set of armor on you. He won't let anything bad happen to you. He wants you to be there and really just to trust in Him.
Yeah, amen. And the work that we're doing is never about us in our prayer or on our as we our witnesses. It's to glorify Him, glorify the Lord, to be faithful witnesses to what He's calling us to do. And so we just encourage all of you to get involved, engage. And, if you can't, pray for all these activities, pray for these efforts, because as we've shared from the entire program, prayer is necessary, it's needed, and it makes a difference. It changes things. It changes people's hearts and minds. We've got a couple minutes left. Kerstin, I'll start with you. Any final thoughts?
No, I ditto to everything you just said, Rodney. I think that it can be a scary thing to be out there praying at the abortion facility, but no matter what, no matter how many people I talk to who go out there, they always say, "I know God was there." So it may seem scary. It may seem like you're the only one standing out there, but you're not. You're not alone.
Beautiful. How about you, Ella? Any final thoughts?
Yes, I'd encourage anyone listening who is at all interested just to take that first step, sign up, get more information, because once you do, it's surrendering to God, and He has you. He has a plan for you.
And as Ella just said, take that first step. I know Ella has, Kerstin has, I have, Kevin Jory, Allison Burns. We've all taken that first step. And once you do, you say, this is good, and this is what God intended for me. And whatever form or fashion that is, you could be you could be praying, you could be a sidewalk counselor, you could be doing Project Rachel. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your faith, your witness. And we just ask that all of you bless us as we have this upcoming 40 Days for Life, the Project Rachel retreat for priests. And we just give thanksgiving to Annunciation Radio. Until next week, God bless.